Good morning, my dears grade 5. How are you today, miss? Today, inshallah, we will continue the lesson, the place value through thousands. And at the end of this lesson, I want you to be able to understand the meaning of first place value, miss. It's important to understand what does it mean by the word place value. And it's important immediately to think about the chart of the place value when I'm asking you about the place value. Because if I ask you about the place value, I'm asking you about the hundreds, thousandths, tenths. And you know that we are still talking about decimals since we are talking about place value through thousandths. So we are talking about decimals. Now, and you have to find out the value of, after you find out the place value of a digit in a number. Okay? Now, the place value chart, it's so important to remember it. So important, miss. You have to memorize it well. I want you to, remember that the tenths, it's not as usual with tens in the whole numbers. In tenths, actually, the tenths is the greatest number. So it's the closest number to the closest number to the decimal point. So its value is point without zeros, okay? Point something, okay? Then the tenth itself. After the tenths comes the hundreds, which is in the decimals. In the decimal word, hundreds is less than tenths. With what, miss? With what? With it times, hundreds, it times 0.01 from tenths or of tenths. So if you multiply any number in the tenths place with times 0.01, you got this number in the hundreds. And in thousands, it's the number, with 2 zeros to its left, closer to the decimal point. So you can notice that thousands is less than hundreds, and hundreds is less than tenths. Okay, miss? Yeah. Let's go to the other slide. I find out, a mind map that is little explain what we have taken till now, and it's important. The vocabulary in it is very, very important, miss. The vocabulary that the mind map has. Place value vocabulary. Actually, I want you to remember that in place value here, what does it mean, the place value? If you can see here, what does it mean, the place value? It's the value of the position of a digit in a number. This is so important because you keep asking me, miss, what's a place value? What does it mean? So it's the value of the position, okay? Not the value of a place value. Miss, that value of place value is different, but it means that the place value is the value of the position. Where is it? Where it's a place? Where is this number? In which place? In 10,000, ولا in hundreds, ولا in ones, ولا in 100,000, okay? And we are talking about decimals, so we're talking about tenths, ولا hundreds, ولا thousands, okay? Now, digit, as we said before, we explained the meaning of digit before. It's any one of numbers or symbols, as they say, from 0 to 9, okay? So a digit, it could be in a number. It could, it could be any, how many digits for a number. You can choose any number of digits to find or to define a number. But a digit, it's take only one place from a number. Okay, for one digit, there is only one place in numbers. Okay, now the expanded. Now we have the two forms to to define or to represent the place value or numbers in place value. First, the standard form, that a number written with one digit for each place value. It's a number. Okay. And there is an expanding notation. Why we say it's an expanding notation? Because actually, most of times we are talking about if we are talking about decimals, it's for us it's very useful in life, in science and physics and in chemistry to write it as an expanded notation. I want you to know that there is the expanded form, okay? But if we are talking about decimals, actually we are talking about expanded notation. The value, it's important because if I ask you about the place value, listen, I'm actually ask you about two things, the place value and the value itself. What a number is worth, what's the value of this number? If 6 in 10th place, in place value of 10, what's the value of 6 is 6/10. Okay, miss? And as you can see here, we talked about this, right, miss? And we say it's important for you to remember the place value, the position of every number, especially in decimals. And it's important to know that 1 here, 1 in the tens has more value than 7, which is in the 10,000s. Okay. Now I want you to solve the independent practice. Now let's go to the book and start solving independent practice on page 45, and we will check together the answers in this slide. I will keep the slide open, okay? And I want now you to solve together independent practice and come back and check our